Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day, and with that being said, let's get into the TA. Okay, exciting stuff, guys. We did get the breakout from this consolidation. We got the breakdown, I should say, from this consolidation. I've been pointing out that we had this bear flag like structure, and we did have bear structure loading down here, but then you broke out to the upside from this bull flag looking formation right here. Now it does look like that was a complete bull trap because today you had a complete reversal. Now you did have SPY's dividend yesterday, so that is something to note. That is why you had the initial gap down. You're down a little bit, but it shouldn't have been that much. Regardless, you had the dividend, and then you just had the gap down and go, and that is happening off of high volume. I guarantee by the end of the day, by close at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in half an hour from now, you're going to have increasing volume to support this candlestick. Now, if you have a full-on recovery all the way back up here to 447, that's a different story. But I think that's extremely unlikely. I think we're probably going to have a big fat red bar here on the day, which will be a breakdown for QQQ as well as SPY. SPY out of this bear flag looking formation right there on the daily time frame. And then QQQ, we actually did spend some time in yesterday's video pointing out that however you want to draw this, you're getting to the end of it, and it did not look good. All right, like you can, I guess you could do something like this and you could have looked at it as a pennant, but in reality, guys, this was kind of like a rising wedge going on here, which is what we were pointing out yesterday. And you broke down. You could use that touch point. You could use this. You could use this up here. It doesn't really matter. You got a rising wedge going on. Today, you have a clear as day breakdown from that pattern. And I will point out over here on QQQ, you did end up losing 375.29. We rejected off of the high from this candlestick, and like yesterday from yesterday's daily candlestick, and you had a hangman just like we had over here. I pointed out that it's literally the same, and the last one ended up doing that. This one, I didn't know how it was going to shape up, but I definitely did point out that we have like the pretty exact candlestick just over this 375.29 level, which last time was a bull trap. I guess that was a bull trap. You had a pretty bullish looking candlestick going on at SPY and QQ right over resistance over here in SPY. But it just ended up coming up to the top of this bear flag formation right here. That level, or that trend line, and that trend line, you got a nice little bear flag. And you got pretty close here to our 442.75 level, which I still do think is going to get hit. You might do something like this. You get a little recovery here, reject off of the bottom of this candlestick right here, which was 444.51. That's the level we were paying attention to. And then you're probably going to test it. When you do test, you're probably going to break it. And guess what, guys? When you do break it, you have this little support over here. All right, pointing this out. You have this little one going on over here, but around 441. But it's, you know, not even going to be seen over here on the daily time frame. That's going to be somewhere yeah, somewhere over here. It's not even seen on the daily time frame. It's not a strong level is what I'm getting at. So if you lose 442.75, you're probably coming straight down to 436.86. And if you come down there and have to, so you're probably like, we're probably starting, you know, move lower. Like, look at this. All right. Check it out. Check it out. All right. Let's just say this was an impulsive countdown. I don't know where you would put them. I'm going to be straight up. Maybe it would be something like that. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe that's your 5-wave count. All right. And then you have this. Well, guys, this is a 3-wave. This is a 3-wave corrective series. Or sequence, whatever you want to call this thing. If I'm looking at this correctly, what if we have this? Oh, I don't know why it canceled there. What if we have that? Those two. We're getting 3 right now. Maybe it comes down here. You get something like that. I have absolutely no idea, but just something to keep in mind here. Like we were pointing out before, until you had this candlestick that kind of threw me off yesterday, but that's why I said on QQ, right? It's the same candle like we got over here last time you popped your head above there. It was a bull trap with the same exact candlestick. Guys, I'm just saying right now, all right? We knew bears were kind of in control over here. Yesterday did throw us for a ride, but guess what? We did end up getting the breakdown today. So, I mean, no, guys, we got confirmation on what we were thinking over here, which was bears are starting to step in right here at resistance. It's logical that you get rejection. Now, because we were above there, I was open to coming up here to 451.55 / this supply zone up here. You did not end up getting above there. So I am going to take that level off right there, and we can actually just clean our chart here. All right, we will put this level back on the chart. We'll put all of these back on the chart, but I just want a clean picture to what we got going on. All right, we're gonna just take this level off of there right now. We're going to take this level off of there right now. There we go, guys. Now we know exactly what to be paying attention to. On the upside, guys, we are paying attention to 448.11, and then you could pay attention to the high of this candlestick right here, which was 451.08. And on the downside, guys, we're really just watching 44275, and if you break that, we're watching for a move down to 436.86. I think it's going to be a sexy short. All right, so yeah, you can buy the breakout. That would be the aggressive entry. I think it's going to pay. All right, or you could wait for the pullback on like the 15 or hourly time frame, and you could wait for something like that, where you come down in early next week, you retest it, and then or you break it early next week, and then yeah, you probably get a same day retest on the 15-minute time frame, and there's your entry right there. All right, so that's over on SPY. On QQQ, guys, let's pay attention to what levels we are going to be watching next week, which, guys, keep in mind, we will have the weekly update in which we will go over the weekly charts. And on Sunday, we can talk about 10 setups going to next week, which I think SPY, the one we just went over, I think I'm going to put that one on there. And QQQ is probably going to have a short entry with a break of 369.15. That was the low of this candlestick right here. All right, so as you see, I have that arrow. I actually, that's what I drew out this morning. I do think we are going to go down there now that we started breaking down from over here, which was the low of this candlestick. Now, if we do just decide to continue down lower than 369.15, guys, next support is going to be over here, 366, but I think it's very likely we come straight to 361. This is going to be your weaker support. You can't see, all right? This is where buyers stepped in on this gap down over here. If you break it, you're not going to have much. You're kind of going to signify that, hey, things are moving and grooving in a downward direction, and you have this rising wedge. So I do think we're probably coming down to 361. And guess what? All right, let's just see. All right, where does 361 align with? Oh, the golden pocket, the 0.786. All right, guys, people could say, you know, Fips don't work all you want, but guess what? They, you know, I see so many, like with the golden pot, the 0.618 and the 0.786, there's just always so much confluence going on at those levels. So we typically are going to see buyers at least step in for a retrace over there. Doesn't have to be a full-on, you know, correction of the move or a reversal, but that's usually where we see the opposing pressure step in at the golden pocket. All right, now DIA, guys, you also broke down from this pennant. IWM, you're right here. You still got what we talked about yesterday. Boom. All right, you got your ugly head and shoulders, and I pointed out, if you just want to disclude this action right here, you can make this right here, this candlestick, that's the, you know, that connects to your neckline right there. Then boom, a move off of this resistance right here, that would create your right shoulder. It looks like that is exactly what we got today of the increasing volume. I think it's likely that we continue our move lower here. Just saying. All right, that's what we were paying attention to up until yesterday's bullish candlestick. I was pointing out there's nothing really bearish that you could say about it. There wasn't. All right, but we did get two hot inflation prints. We got hot PPI, we got hot CPI. Because that's not good. So any pop, I was saying, was likely to be a bull trap. And as you see, we did get a bull trap. Now, it could have continued a little more. I did think we were probably going to continue back up to test 451.55 at least. We did not. All right, Apple, guys, let's talk about some things. I realized I didn't actually go over Baba yesterday, so I will be going over Baba today. Someone had requested that. But you got right here over on Apple, I'm just going to point out, you do have this slanted head and shoulders formation going on right there. Let me just draw that out. There you go. All right, so you have a slanted head and shoulders formation. Regardless, guys, you already did make the lower low here, so we were expecting this bounce, but we were saying it was going to be a dead cat bounce with all likelihood, and then we were going to come down to a new low. Now, we are getting bounced right here at the bottom here, so let's just put a new level. All right, the low was, let me just check real quick. The low was 173.54. If you break 173.54, that is when you're very likely just going to come all the way down here, finally tap 171. Then the gap will be on the table, all right? Apple will be dragging the market lower if it decides to take a big old puke over there. NVIDIA, well, guys, we ended up losing this level right here, the low, and we said, what happens under that level? Well, guys, you're probably going to come and fill that gap. There was your $10 move on NVIDIA. It was 0DT Friday. So if you have heard me talk about the 0DT NVIDIA strangle, I think I have mentioned it over the past few weeks here. Now, I didn't personally get to play it today, but as you see, another Friday that would have worked absolutely beautifully. All right, guys, the Friday strangles over here on NVIDIA. Print, just open it. Just open it at, like, you know, wherever you think is a good fit. You typically do see a pretty wide range here on NVIDIA. Like there was a $16 range, guys. Premiums are cheap only on Friday. I only recommend doing that on Friday. But I have seen a lot of range here. Like say you open it at the open, $20 move down, guys. You're gonna have a $10 move in one direction. That's gonna make one side absolutely print. And there you go. All right, let's look at where AMD is at. That is what I want to bring up. AMD is right down here at support again. I do think it's likely that we do move down to 102 again, which is where you start bouncing over here. 101.70 actually, I think. Yeah, right over here. You see it? But the high over here was, oh, it's actually, no, it's down there at 99, not 101.7. That's where you're bouncing right now. But yeah, close to the 99.50 down here. That's where you're bouncing before. I think it's likely that we do take a trip lower next week. Now, I don't know if you get the bounce on there, but we have been in this consolidation for a while, so I do have to assume you're probably going to get buyers stepping in around this level right here. You're going to be at the bottom of this bull flag formation, falling wedge formation, whatever you want to call this. I think this thing still looks bullish. All right, so I just want to point that one out. See what's happened with MU. I think MU is probably going to start declining into the earnings. It looks like you are double topping from right over here. All right, but let's look at these guys. Someone said short Amazon, I think, in the comments yesterday. Here you go. All right. Nice $4 move down right from resistance. All right. So I was saying that I wouldn't be doing anything with this. All right. You could short into this, and I'm just going to point out you have a shooting star on the weekly candlestick right here. So you probably are going to see some downside. You saw one right over here. All right. You probably are going to see some more downside. So if you are still in that short and you got a few weeks time on that, hey, you watch this level over here, 136, a lot of reactions over here to this level. You started getting your bounce over here. You got rejection over here. All right, double top right here. All right, so pay attention to 135.50-ish, around there. Good, guys. You are on top of this. You're doing a break and a retest right now, so I do want to point out, not the most bearish looking thing. You have an indecision candlestick right here. Maybe we do get a rebound at the start of the week. I think we probably are going to fall down to that 44275 level. Maybe we hit it today over here on SPY. Look at that, guys. Just looking hella bearish over here on the indices. So I do think, guys, this is probably the start of a decline. All right, how deep is that decline? I don't know. We'll play it level by level. That's what we're going to be doing. But yeah, guys, all the big components, they don't look the best over here. All right, let's come over here to Mr. Baba and see what's going on over here. All right, guys, if you are going to long Baba, just know, all right, this is your support right here, the low of this candlestick, which is 86.86. If you break 86.86, which you already did today, all right, but if you were to get a daily close under it, your next support is going to be this gap fill all the way down over here. And that's not going to be the best thing. Like, you know, that's, you don't want to sit through that on the long side. So I'd be waiting for it. High is 83.95 over here. That is what you were waiting to get hit if you lose this level, which that sucks. All right, but that is how it is. All right, that's the only thing. If I was to long this thing, that's the only place I'd be doing it. I'd be waiting. All right, it's probably going to catch a bounce somewhere around this gap fill. And in this zone, we call this our demand zone. If we do end up getting down here, it was more like, you know, right here was your demand zone pool. And we'll just make it the bottom of the wicks right there as well. That is where I would be going long here. If you do start to get a bounce, all right, you're looking for a break of some structure here. But I do want to point out, you do have this going on right here. All right, maybe it's a channel, maybe it's a wedge. I don't know. All right, but first of all, you want to break out from this downtrend right here that I have this trend line. All right, then you actually want to get a move over here. All right, because that was your last high. If you can break 88.55, that is when you are probably going higher. So if you are going to long it, wait for a break of 88.55, and even then, I'd just be playing short-term contracts, maybe for a few dollar move up here. If this level over here at 90, all right, there's also a psych level right here. That's something you could be paying attention to. But I really wouldn't be touching it if it does break the support until it comes all the way down here to 84 bucks. All right, guys, I am going to conclude today's video with that. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for being here with me, and I will catch you tomorrow for the weekly update. Peace.